Hello! I'm sorry that the video today is a little bit later than usual. I usually publish my videos first thing Friday morning. I didn't quite have it ready this morning, so I apologize for that. I'm going to try and get ahead of my videos so that doesn't happen anymore. But anyway, what are we watching today? This is a continuation of my drip hair painting series. If you saw my last video, something that I've been doing, which has been a lot of fun, is these very small portraits where I use a wet in wet technique to fill in a flat hair shape. And I really enjoyed my first batch of these, and I kind of wanted to push them a little bit further. So there are a few things that I was trying to accomplish with this set in particular. First of all, I wanted to explore more interesting hair shapes, and I wanted to get more flow and more dynamics out of them, and I kind of wanted to use this as an opportunity to study just especially really flowing lines, the likes of which you would see in Muka's work. I looked at a lot of his stuff when I was drawing these, and I think I could probably use a little more practice. I had about a 50-50 success rate in my opinion with these, but they didn't turn out bad. I think it was a pretty good go at just creating really interesting dynamic shapes, and I had a lot of fun with them, really. I also used it as an opportunity to try and create some interesting fantasy ear shapes, because I'm trying to get better at ear anatomy, and especially I'm trying to develop interesting ways that I can draw elf ears, because I do draw a lot of like elves and fantasy ears. So this was a good opportunity for that. I also apologize on this one. For some reason I feel like my camera was not quite as focused as on the other ones, and I don't know if that was a light issue, but it's kind of unfortunate because this is my favorite out of the set. But anyway, I had a lot of fun with these. There is a little bit of an elemental connotation with each of them. You probably didn't notice because it is kind of subtle, but the first one was sort of a water mermaid, and the second one was kind of air. This one is fire, and the last one, which you'll see, is sort of earth. So for this one, you can kind of see some very crystalline shapes in the hair. I did have a big piece of quartz. I have a quartz bookend that I was looking at while I was drawing this, and I quite like the sketch, and I do like the way that it turned out. I think that I wish that I had paid a little more attention to the composition early on, because this one is one of my less favorite ones out of the set, and I think it's really just because the composition isn't quite as dynamic as the other ones. It's very static, the figure is very centered, and I thought with all of the diagonals kind of sloping toward that bottom left corner that it would feel dynamic once I got all of the paint in there, but I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. And the crystal texture, the sort of amethyst texture, that was a really interesting practice, because I've never painted crystals before, but they do seem to be really popular around YouTube lately, so it was fun to take a stab at that, and I think I did okay. I could probably do with a little more practice, probably trying to save more whites rather than going back in, but I think that these were a lot of fun, and I will probably do a few more of these. Thank you for joining me. If you liked the video, please give a thumbs up, and I will see you next week.